G'day guys, and on today's episode of Noelsy's Outdoors, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be upgrading our factory cup holder here. The problem with mine is it's one of the standard cup holders for like your VX or GXL ones, and this lid has actually broken, along with the fact that the actual cup holder itself is splitting around the seams at the base here. So we're going to replace that with the more deluxe VX. I think it's a more deluxe option. It was on like the TX or something like that. Anyway, it's a split level one with an armrest extension and a different style of cup holders to this. I'll show you what that one looks like in a hot minute, but yeah, first we're going to remove this piece here. Alright, so the obvious first thing you want to do is you want to empty out this whole section here, and you want to empty out any sort of other bits and pieces that you have living in here as well too. So, on my model, there's only 3 holes here, which should be the same across all the models of the 90 series Prado. So we've got one there, and then one in the bottom middle just there. It's just a 3 holding it in, so that's all sweet. You may find that on certain models of the Prado, if I just navigate around over here, you have the rear fan controls you have to worry about. Now these ones here are really easy to remove, and this is probably what you should remove first. So what you do is you just literally grab your fingers here and just pull, and the whole thing will just pull out. Do one on one side, one on the other side, whole thing will pop out. You don't even need to unplug this because that's not really attached. Yeah, so this cable doesn't run over this bracket here, but even if it did, you could just undo this bolt, this nut, screw here, screw here. So yeah, so you just undo that and leave that aside for now, so that can just live there, and then we're going to take off this box bit. So yeah, I'm just going to confirm that it is in fact a 10mm. I'm pretty sure, clean that out, is that a 10? Yeah, it's a 10, that's a 10 for certain. Cool as, so just undoing that. Probably would have helped if I vacuumed all of that crap out, but that's okay. That'll all get cleaned out in a moment when I pull it out, so. But yeah, there's that one there, and then there's just them 2 in there. Again, pretty confident they're all 10mm, so. We'll undo this and pull this whole thing in, lift this out. Okay, so I've just undone all the bolts. So I've got the 2 in there and the 1 in there that I've just undone. The one thing you want to do before you actually go to riff this off is these bits here, this leather bit is famous for tearing around this little nut here. There's like a thread here for adjusting the handbrake, and it always gets destroyed. Mine's basically on its way out too. What they've got is at the front of it, they've got a little bit of Velcro just there. You should be able to just separate that Velcro. A little bit of a Velcro noise there. And that way, when you go to lift it out, you don't rip anything else, so the handbrake itself can actually pass through this hole. Okay, so here we are side by side with the one that I've just pulled out of the factory here, and then the one that I've got to replace it with. Now, the one I've got to replace it with here, it's got a better top storage and like cup holder setup. This one here is famous. What happens is I'll see if I can actually show you what sort of happens. You can actually see just in here and just in there, this is actually starting to crack and separate from the lid itself. So eventually one day I'll go to put a can down and this whole section here will cave in, and I've seen like the cameras to that, so that's pretty good there. Now this one, by chance, alternatively, it's got a little compartment up the top here for that, right? So it's got that little compartment there. Now you're thinking, where's the cup holder? This whole section here, actually, if I can do it with one hand, normally this attaches way easier, just slides forward like that. So that becomes an extended armrest. Then your cup holder actually flips over that way, and it has its little tabs just there. So that's how your cup holder goes. And then you've got a little bit of storage space for whatever here. Or alternatively, you can just whack the armrest back to where it was. And then you've got your cup holders there, fits a standard can, pretty easy, pretty good. And then you've got that there. But to top that off, not only can you do that, and flop all that back in there, put that back onto that like that, you can also actually lift this whole lid up here to get access to the same space as what this one has in here. So, you've got all that space there, you've got a taller bit with more room in here for some other small bits and pieces, and you've got an extendable armrest with better design, I personally believe, better designed cup holders. Now, these things aren't invincible. I've seen the hinges on these snap before, but if you're just not rough with it, it'll be way better than this. These are guaranteed to eventually just cave in, and you can't like do anything about that. And then you just have a big ugly hole. Also, my lid is missing. Well, I've got the lid, but it's broken. Now, there's a couple ways I'm going to go about this. This one here, though, it has a bit of damage to its leather boot. It's got like the hole there from the nut. And I'll show you what causes that as well too. But mine's in pretty good nick. So I'm just going to clean mine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, there's 2 ways to go about this. You could pull this leather section out of here and pop it onto that. I'm going to go the more, like, I feel easier, but, you know, may take a bit more time. And instead of pulling this piece off and trying to canoodle the metal wire back in and all that sort of stuff, I'm just going to try and dismantle the whole thing and see if I can take this section of the lid off here to replace with that section of the lid there, and then I'll put that lid onto this one here. That's what I'm probably going to do. But yeah, that'll give me the good upgrade there. So yeah, I'll show you what causes this. If we just come around to the over here on your handbrake, this, I don't know who on God's earth at Toyota decided this needed to be this long, but this little thread here always, basically always, damages your leather cover. I don't know, maybe I might just cut that with a pair of, like, you know, or maybe I'll cut it off with a hacksaw or something, just to get rid of that extra length. But I don't think it's really that necessary. I think it's meant to be for adjusting the actual handbrake cable, but you can do that at the back of the vehicle where the like the handbrake shoes are. So I have this. Maybe this is just like an easier option for doing that. I don't know, either way, but this bolt here always tears it. So the other thing as well, while we're here, I'm going to give this section a vacuum. I'm going to vacuum all the crud and all that stuff out of there, so that's going to be cool. I'm going to get rid of, there's literally a receipt sitting down for something, probably for fuel. And then yeah, while this is apart, now is the time for me to be able to clean it. So yeah, I'm just going to vacuum all that crap out of there, and then we'll probably do the exact same with the other bit. So yeah, basically what I'm going to do is apparently it's actually a two-piece design. So that's to incorporate like a left and right side, because obviously in the US, handbrake will be on that side. So that's where the handbrake goes, obviously. What it is it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gold screws on the inside, and then it appears to be, is that attached as well? No, I don't think so. It appears to be 1, 2, 3 black screws on one side, and then the exact same on the other. So yeah, I'll undo all 12 of these screws, and then I'm going to see if I can unsheath this whole thing here. I'll keep an eye out if there's any other bits and bobs that are floating around there, but this section here shouldn't come out because it's plastic and molded to this. So I'm going to do the exact same on both of that one and onto that one, and then I'm just going to swap the sheath over, and then that'll mean that theoretically that section and that section should all fit together. Alright, so now that I've gotten that apart, I've gotten these two next to each other, but you'll notice the lid off of that one is off, and I haven't actually taken out the insert. Now whether or not I admit to that in my own stupidity is a question altogether. This actually doesn't need to come out to get the lid off. It's literally just, you undo 2 screws that hold the hinge here, and then you just roll it forwards, and then the hinge clamps roll it outwards. I could have done this whole job in like the space of 2 seconds. Like I probably didn't even need to pull this whole thing out. Like legitimately, I probably didn't even need to take it out. But I did, just to show you how to do it, I guess, so that's cool. So that can be separated, you can do all that sort of stuff. This isn't as necessary. It'd be great. It doesn't take long, it's 5 minutes. I would take it apart to clean it, because cleaning it without taking it apart would be a bastard. Yeah, so now you know how to take that apart, not that I needed to. But yeah, so literally it's just, there's 2 screws that hold a hinge there and 2 screws that hold a hinge there, and you literally just, after you've undone those 2, you literally just roll it forward and lift from the back, and then these latches here, these little plastic latches, they just, you know, unhook because they're J-shaped, and then that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do to undo all of that. But yeah, now what we're going to do is we're going to put it all back together after a bit of a clean. So just as I suspected, after undoing those 2 screws there and just rolling the whole thing forward, the new one actually fits perfectly, and even if I let that go down, locks, latches, done, works. It all just fits. It's just, they part spin these pieces, they do all that, you know, like they might have a different mold for different trim levels, because this here is a bit different than that one over there. As you can see, that one's got some sort of magnet clip, and the latch piece is there for that. But these ones here is a little different. It's got the magnet bit there, and then the latch there for a cup holder that rests on a little bit of plastic just there. So yeah, I'm going to put the leather bit back on. I'm going to put the insert back in that I didn't actually need to remove at all, and then yeah, we'll put it all back together, and then I've got a little other piece I need to whack in there as well too that wasn't on my car previously. I'll show you exactly what that is in a bit. Alright, so just another sanity check before I try it down. I'll whack the insert back in, And yes, in fact, all the holes line up as factory, so no, you don't need to remove the insert to do this job. It's literally just 2 screws and then just roll it forward. You can do that as well, just unhook those J bits. Those J clamps are just there under that. I thought they might have been tabbed in to have to squeeze out, but no, they just are J shaped. You just have to roll it forward. So it's literally, to do this whole job, it's literally just 2 screws. But I wanted to pull it out anyway because I needed to clean it, and I feel like I've done a bit of that. I've vacuumed a bit of stuff out over there as well too, so it was necessary for me to pull all this apart. So I felt it was worth the 5 extra minutes just to clean it up. So yeah, I'm going to screw everything all back together. I've got, again, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws there, and then 3 on each side of this to hold all the trims together. And then I'm going to put it back together as intended. Alright, so I've got the whole thing back together now, so that's all sweet. So I've got obviously the lid off here, got that one in there, got that there. And you might just be wondering, no, why didn't you just flip the whole thing over and just deal with it or whatever? Because you got the leather piece out pretty easily. Again, if you have a look at this one here, this one's slightly different. This is the one that I got a hold of for the lid piece. I've got this. Now, I don't think this fits into here. Well, I do think it fits in there, but it's not proper for it. I think this is actually meant to fit into here. So if I've got this around the correct way like this, I think if I pop that into there like that, and I just be real gentle and pop that into there, look at this, I've got cup holders again. It holds up there, that's magnetic, you just pop it down, and bam, you've got a large drink cup holder. I don't think it's any good for cans though. I think it's only good for like drinks. So if I go can, yeah, it's just, I wouldn't particularly call it any good for cans. I'd say probably like 600ml bottle of water, one that you can seal. That'd be where that lives there. Powerade bottle maybe. I think Powerade bottle might even be a bit thin. But yeah, no, I've got that there. This, I've got that back. I've got all that stuff there. I've got a new cup holder again. That can flip up, still to have the same amount of space as it did before. Yeah, so now I'm going to put the whole thing back together into that, and then we'll clip the back fan control cover back onto here because that's still in the car obviously over there, and then yeah, we'll get it all into the car. Alright, cool, so we've just whacked in the bolt for that one there. We've obviously got the 2 bolts back in here. Again, they're just 10mm, so that's all sweet. That's that there, that holds up there, flips up real easy, that's all good. The only thing that's a bit weird about it is this. It seems to be rubbing plastic here and rubbing plastic here. So I think one day I might swap the plastic over as well too, and then just swap my leather boot over and clean it all up and make it all nice. But for now, that's all sweet. So the only thing that's left over to do now with it is just to use our hands to bash our plastic cover back onto it there. So we'll get that happening, I'll show you why. So yeah, so you probably actually can just do this with one hand. If I just hold that up there like that, you're gonna aim those tabs in first, like so. 1, 2, like, oh wait, like, oh, just gotta line it up correctly, that's all. Yeah, I'm doing this one-handed, it's a bit of a difficult task when you're using one hand, but that's okay. Go like that. Oh, yep, I think I've done it. Make sure it's all lined up, and then just push, clip, 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 done. On there, sorted. Yeah, and that should all still just work as it normally is, so I think that's it. I think that's the install complete. Yeah, I think so. So now the other thing about it is obviously get armrest for putting your arm on as such. Got your cup holders, boom, done. Fits your cans in that. That's great, too easy. All in all, we got that there. And we've got our bottle holder here as well. They can hold our bottles and such. So that's good as well too. So that's cool. I think a solid upgrade compared to the standard old one. Way more storage now. It's a bit more usable space. Like I've gained the whole of this storage compartment just here. I've upgraded my drink capacity storage holding while still retaining the same amount of storage space there, and I've got an extra armrest extension here, a small amount of storage space here when you close this up if you're okay with that, but when normally used it's for your cup holders. So yeah, I've got that there. Perfect. I think this is an all-around really good upgrade, so it's yeah, definitely a good investment there. So yeah, in any case, that'll be it for this video, I think. Yeah, I'll see you next time.
Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Noelsy's Outdoors. I just want to give a quick shout out to Gary from the Mighty 90s Prado page on Facebook. Yeah, absolute legend, helped me get a hold of these parts. Don't really think I ever would have seen them without him. So thanks again, Gary, and we'll catch you all next time.